Welcome to Superwonder Comics Series, guys. I'm your host, Taladia Plays, and I can't do this without my co-host, so let's bring him on. That is Jared from Comics League, guys. So let's get him in.
Hello there.
Hello there. How you
How
doing?
are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. It's been a busy week this week for me.
Oh
Content,
yeah, I bet.
content, content. Push pumping out as much content as I can. Working on videos, editing, and collaborating with different people, all that fun
You've
stuff.
been grinding, my dude. You've been grinding out that content.
Yep. So we're here to talk about issue 3 of Superman and Wonder Woman.
Okay then, let's
So
get to it.
shall shall we begin?
So, and by the way, oh yeah, I can do that. All right. So issue 3. Previously, General Zod was introduced. So this is basically the introduction for General Zod, the evil Kryptonian, and we're gonna find out a little bit more about him in this issue. So the issue starts off immediately with Cat Grant receiving opening up that little envelope and
Yes.
going, "What?" And we don't find out. We find out at the end of this issue what she sees, and then a little bit more in issue 4. But for right now, just say she saw something shocking to her. Next, we have Clark hanging out on the moon, and he's like still recovering from the whole punching the god of the sun through the volcano like a boss. So he's like trying to burn off the solar radiation, and he's talking to Batman because Batman has a way of grounding people. And at the same time, Diana and Hesia are going to, Christmas shopping because Diana has never celebrated Christmas before.
Which is kind of funny.
Which makes sense because of her background. But what she's trying to do is she's trying to learn more about man's world to be a better girlfriend to Clark. Because as Hestia puts it, it's important to him, so you want to make it important to you. That's what
Yes.
relationships are. And then we get this fantastic interaction with Bruce. So essentially, Batman goes, "Okay, listen, dude, this is why I've always been comfortable working with you, even though you could punch a hole in the moon." And Superman goes, "You mean, uh, well, you mean the fact that I would never punch a hole in the moon?" He goes, "Well, yeah, that, but also because no matter what, you will always see yourself as a human being over like a Kryptonian. In other words, you're human. That's the way it works. You are a human that happens to have all these fantastical abilities." And this right here is what I always use whenever people say, "Oh yeah, Lois grounds Superman and like makes him maintains his link to humanity." And I'm like, well, actually, no, because according to Batman, he's always been raised human.
Yes.
That's just the most annoying thing I have ever seen in
Lowest
terms of
lowest losers. We call it losers. Losers of Lois.
the Legion of Losers Lane. That's the best thing that my Adventure with Superman ever gave me. So then we cut back to Zod, and he is like, so essentially he has the blood of those shepherds, and he puts like the streaks on his head like he's a freaking football player. And then he kills a shepherd, then he takes off, and we get kind of the Man of Steel flight sequence in that he doesn't know how to fly, so then he just falls. But before he hits the ground, he's picked up by Martian Manhunter. So
Yes.
remember, the public doesn't know Superman and Wonder Woman are a couple, but the government does. So they created a Justice League called the Justice League of America in case the actual Justice League ever went rogue. That's what this is. And each of these members are designed to take out a member of the league.
Yeah.
So that's why you have like Hawkman, Vibe, and Martian Manhunter. Later, Stargirl and Catwoman for some reason on
Show
the
up
team.
in
And then Steve Trevor, this is the one time Steve Trevor has ever been useful in DC continuity. Other times he's like, eh. So they try and fight Zod, and that goes just about as well as you think. So it's mostly people that aren't God level. The only one that's God level is John Jones, but still doesn't work. He breaks his way out of the ice, rapid fire punches Martian Manhunter in the face. Then I love how Hawkman hits him in the head with the mace. It doesn't do anything. Basically, the not impressed scene from Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yes.
He turns around, then all of a sudden he is gripped by the lasso of truth, and Superman and Wonder Woman emerge. And they're like, okay, you know what? We'll take it from here.
And I gotta say as well, the way they came in together, that kind of shows the unity there, right?
Yeah. Well, because they're the only ones that could realistically stop Zod. Then we'll see this
Yes.
much later in the series. But it's like, so eventually Zod starts to speak English. Steve Trevor wants to bring Zod into Argus to like study him. But Superman, who was, remember, in Action Comics, tortured by the US government, is like, oh, hell no. I've seen what you do to aliens, so he's coming with me. So they fly off, and he puts Zod in like basically like a zoo, his zoo in the Fortress of Solitude. And
I
he's
find that
like,
funny.
yeah, he's like, just stay here until I figure this out. And Zod at first is being all good. He's like, okay, fine, whatever makes you comfortable, Kal-El. I can't wait to speak to you. I look forward to talking to you about Krypton. So as they walk out, so Diana goes, okay, I have a Christmas present for you. I know it's a little early, but I figure this is the best time to give it to you. So here it is. So essentially what she did, because she was thinking, she said, I've heard that the best gifts are what cannot be easily obtained by the recipient. So what can I get Superman that he can't easily get? And then she goes, time. So the idea is she had the rest of the Justice League members take over their duties for like a short while. They don't necessarily get into how much. I'd imagine it's like a day, so that Superman and Wonder Woman can take a vacation together.
Ooh.
And then we get this dope kiss. And then we discover, so what was in that file that Kat had at the very beginning of the issue was the picture of Superman and Wonder Woman kissing. And she published it onto the internet. So now the entire world knows that Superman and Wonder Woman are a couple. And thus ends issue 3. And then we have a clip by Ambush Bug. But still, that ends issue 3.
That was a great issue, right? And the fact that General Zod could hold his own against the Justice League was just like, wow.
Remember, that was the Justice League of America, not necessarily the Justice League.
But still, it's the Justice League nonetheless. But before we continue on with the Super Wonder stuff, we'll give a shout out to Jay Heat becoming a YouTube member.
Yeah, Jay Heat.
Jay Heat becoming a YouTube member. He went to Titans tier for $2.99, so shout out goes out to you. So, continuing on.
And obviously, but by the way, first off, the art by Tony S. Daniel is still stellar. The writing by Charles Soule is still stellar. Everything in the series is so good for 2 volumes.
Everything about this comic is so good. The artwork, the story detail, it's so good. Now, like, I'm obviously looking forward to issue 4 between the romance side of it, between Clark and Diana.
And this had some good romantic moments.
It did, but I want like a full blown type of romance, if you know what I mean.
The next one, I don't want to spoil it, but the next one's gonna be very Superman focused.
Okay, that I'm looking forward to. Superman focused.
You'll learn more about Zod and stuff in the next one.
Okay.
Another character makes an appearance, first appearance, if you will.
Go on.
I'm not telling you, dude. You have to wait until next week.
Okay.
So, do you have any questions about the issue? Anything that happened? What's up?
I mean, the issue I gotta ask, like, how is it General Zod like was like didn't have like Kryptonian? I know we had a Kryptonian battle armor, but how come he didn't have the same technology as Clark did?
Because remember, he was banished because the idea is, remember, Zod was banished to the Phantom Zone. Depending on
Right.
where it is, he may not have that same material, or it's the same material. It's just, remember, it could be shaped and colored differently because he's the House of Zod and Clark is the House L. And if you remember, I'll pull up this issue in the first action, and when Clark gets the suit in Action Comics, it's actually a white suit. Then it reads his DNA, figures out he's in the House of L, and then turns blue and red into that sleek design.
Oh,
So I think
okay.
each house on Krypton had their own like armored design, because remember, the Zod family was the warrior class.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
why. Good question though.
yeah, I just thought I'll just ask because like Clark had the Kryptonian like technology. I'm like thinking, why didn't Zod have that?
It's still the same Kryptonian tech.
Okay. Obviously Diana and Clark's romance start to blossom in this issue.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see a little bit of Christmassy feeling to it, and I'm digging that
Mm-hmm.
even more. Um, but I want to know, it's like between this like issue compared to the first issue, which one which one had more of a dynamic do you feel for Clark's and
All right, real quick. I just want to show you this real quick. This is what I was talking about. So this is like the first volume of the
mhm.
Grant Morrison action comic showing how Clark first got the suit. See how it's white?
Yeah.
And then he puts it on. See, it's starting to shape into the costume he has on now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if we read here, yeah, it says Don L. So it's basically DNA reading. He's the House of L. Make it look like the House of L colors.
Right. I find that interesting.
It is really cool. It is really cool.
That's another comic we might be covering, guys. It's the New 52 Superman
I'm
comics
down. I love that series. So I'm sorry. What was the question you asked me before?
about uh Clark and Diana's romance, comparing it to um first issue.
Well, in this one, what you're really doing, because one of the complaints that Super Wonder always gets is that, oh, they're too similar. This shows they're not that similar because she never grew up among all of these, like with Christmas per se. So she's learning all of this for the very first time, and she's learning it from an Amazon who left the island a long time ago, and I believe can't return to Themyscira, so she stayed in Manswell for so long. That's where Hestia comes from. I believe so. I'll have to ask Britt. But the point is that so you really see, you do see how they are 100% different in terms of life experiences. And even Bruce says, he's like, wait, you've lived a humble life as a farmer all your life. She's been doted upon as a princess her entire life. So I'm like, and people say they're too similar. I'm sorry, that was a very lazy way of thinking.
No, I get what you mean.
Yeah, if you read the book, this is why I always
Yeah.
tell people. This is why we covered it volume by volume in the early days of Under Two Capes, because I put on the Instagram to talk about the series, and then the number one comment I received was there was a Super Wonder series. So I was like, well, I'm covering this.
Yes.
So That's basically what it's dealing with. We also get to see a little tension between Clark and Steve Trevor, because remember, Diana left Steve for Clark. So I'm like, oh, this is nice. I like seeing Steve Trevor put down, because he's such a horrible character in the New 52. He's a stalker. He's pretty much a stalker.
I think as well, like I think what I also am interested in knowing, it's like, why is Batman in in this universe? Why isn't he in that much in the Super Wonder comics?
Well, because he's their best friend, though. He's like because remember, the first person that Superman teamed up with, even before the Justice League run, was Batman in the New 52 World's Finest comic.
Right. Okay.
He's always considered Bruce his closest friend. Plus,
Okay.
other Justice Leaguers show up throughout this entire series. It's just the way they do it here is that it's appropriate enough so it doesn't look like you're trying to cram all these characters in the book.
Yes. But I think though, like if I give you my honest opinion on the book though for issue 3,
Mm-hmm.
for let me just put the banner back up. For issue 3 for Superman and Wonder Woman, I have to give this issue a solid 9 out of
Mm-hmm.
10. Obviously the action was great. The romance definitely felt there. I felt the romance there.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I'm just like, okay, like what else can they what else can the next issue do to improve on it? I think they
Oh, you are gonna love. Oh my gosh, you are gonna love how the next one ends. Oh boy. As a Zack Snyder fan, you will appreciate the coming issue.
yeah, I mean I if of course if I'm a Zack fan anyway, so it's like
Well, first off, if you're a Zack fan, then you should feel right at home reading this version of Superman. Let's be honest.
yes. But it's like what I find most intriguing for issue 3 as well was like how they didn't give us a backstory of Zod, by the way. They didn't give us how he escaped from the back Phantom Zone.
They dig into that later on in the series, I believe, in this volume. So they briefly touch on it. In
Okay.
fact, he's partially responsible for for something that happened in the very beginning of the series.
Really?
This series goes very hashtag full circle. This volume,
Hashtag full
very
circle.
hash. I'll point it out. I'll point it out. This will blow your mind, Taladia.
Like, oh my God, you got me excited, man. You've got me excited
I'm telling
for
you, dude. You are gonna love this.
like like the one thing. Obviously, I want to ask though. It's like the Rome. Obviously, we know the romance in Diana's is pretty big, like in terms of this book, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know, right? Give us a tease of some sort, dude. Obviously,
Of the next issue.
no. Um,
Oh,
give us not the next issue, but give us a tease to clues maybe to or a hint maybe uh at like how do they give like a dream sequence type of thing
for what?
if they had a kid or something, do they do that?
For Wonder Woman and Superman? No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, they've done it for Injustice. I mean,
I can tease something though.
go on.
A character that has been in a Snyderverse movie shows up in this.
I can think of it. I can think of it right now.
If you're
I'm just
thinking, if you think about the context of the book we're reading, you should be able to figure it out. I don't necessarily want to spoil it
spoil
yet.
it. Yeah.
Spoil it. Feora.
Fiora. Okay.
So what Charles Sewell does, he creates the evil Superman and Wonder Woman.
Oh my
So
god.
they have to fight essentially the evil versions of themselves in this volume. And let's just say the gods get back involved.
The gods get involved?
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet, my friend.
Oh my god. What issue is that?
That is 2 issues from now.
Oh, that's gonna be a very interesting issue
And
then.
in the, I think it's the second to last issue. Yes, the second to last issue, you find out how full circle this book goes.
Oh, dude.
Let me make sure.
Dude.
I have to make sure. I'm trying to find this part because there's this one thing. There's this one like line of dialogue that basically yes, yes. There we go. I'm looking at the speech bubble.
Okay.
If
Can you
you
give us
want
a
me to tell, if you want me to spoil it,
no
I'll
no
spoil it. But
no
if you don't
no
want
no
to,
no spoiler. Give us an expression of what it would be.
I can't because then that's spoiling it. I'm thinking, how do I say this without saying it?
Yes. Say it without saying it. That's what we want.
I'm trying to figure out the right way to say it, but you'll catch on to it if I say it this way. I don't know. Should I say it? Your show, Talati. Do you want me to say it?
Private message me it.
Okay. I'll do it in the private chat.
And then I can do a reaction. Like how Mikey drop a bomb back in the day.
All right, you ready?
1 second.
3, 2, 1.
What?
Yes! Yes! That's how it goes full circle, dude!
Are you kidding me?
I
No.
kid you not. That is what happens. Hey, what's up, Tevia? That is what
Hey, what's up,
happens.
Tevia?
I kid
Hey.
you not. That is what happens.
Oh my god. Like, seriously?
I know. And that leads into volume 2, by the way.
Oh, no,
Yes,
no
yes,
way.
yes, yes.
My day's going good, Tevia. How's your day going?
Doing pretty well, dude. We're talking about Superman and Wonder Woman, volume 1, issue 3. So, yeah. So, when I first read that, my mind exploded like Krypton because, oh my gosh, does that recontext everything, right?
Yeah. Now I understand.
Yeah. Do you see why I didn't want to say it?
Now I understand it. Wow. God.
Oh yeah, it's quite a big thing. They reveal it at the second to last issue of this volume. And when I first read that, my mind exploded. Oh boy. Hope you're enjoying Amazing Spider-Man, but still. By the way, Tabby, I want to tell you, I read the Dawn of DC, Batman and Robin. It's really good. So anyway, Taladia, without saying anything, your reaction to that?
Mind blown.
I told you it is the craziest thing in the world.
My mind is blown, Jared. Like, not gonna lie, it's like,
some more stuff happens. Trust me.
Yes, Tevia. Yes, this exactly like. Also, seeing Zod destroying the Justice League of America was insane. Yes.
A certain Greek god gets involved as well. It's a very specific Greek god.
Is it a power that gives Shazam?
No, not even close. I don't think you're gonna guess this, and I really don't want to spoil this one because it gets
Okay.
it saves some for the end of the book. But I've already told you way too much, dude.
Yeah, you did.
Way too much.
Ja Tevye says,
We
"Oh, awesome, Jared. I read Batman, Robin #1. I agree, it was
Joshua
really good."
Williamson, man, he's a great writer. Not so
Oh,
much a good event writer, but pretty good regular series writer.
imagine him, Joshua Williamson, writing Superman and Wonder Woman.
It has to be Charles Soule.
I said,
Charles Soule is.
imagine.
I don't think he could do it because he's more of a Lois Lane person, which is why he puts an emphasis on
Ah,
Lois Lane in his book. I will say though, here's the thing, Taladia. The one Superman writer that I ignore the Lois Lane stuff because it's genuinely good is Philip Kennedy Johnson. He's the one who wrote the Warworld saga.
yes.
If you want to read peak Superman comics as a Superman fan, pick that book up. You will not regret it.
Okay. I will. I'll read that book. Obviously, I've read Raw World before, so I really enjoyed that series.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But I I wanted to ask you this, right? I agree. Tevye says I agree with his event writing is great, but his stories are single character stories.
I agree. Yeah, because the problem with Joshua Williamson, Talati, is that he writes well, but he doesn't stick to landing. In other words, he doesn't write a satisfying conclusion to the story. Everything else is really good. The dude knows what he's doing.
Um, but yeah, I also wanted to ask you, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Because issue 4 is the next issue, right? Can you give us a panel page to show off, to tease the fans, the viewers? Because I
Let
want
me
to.
see if I can find a really good one. I got one. I got one. Here we go. All right, so let me pull it up real quick, and then because I think I got the perfect one. It's not going to spoil too much, but it's just a panel that I think looks super cool.
Tevye says the World
Yes,
War Saga
I
was
agree with him.
fantastic and probably the best Superman story we had post Bendis, which is God almost.
Cue the "Why did you say that name" clip.
Yeah, no, I got a better one.
Dweeb.
That's a good one, Taladia. I love that one.
Without getting copyright claimed.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let me get to the end of the issue. Well, not the end, but where I want to go to tease this. All right. So here's a page from the next issue. It doesn't really spoil anything because if you know Zod shows up, you know that this is going to happen.
Oh
You were
wow!
right to fear me, Kal-El.
Oh wow! Can you zoom in on that?
Yep, I gotcha. So we got Zod here. He obviously escapes, but he also gives out the activation code to open all the other cells. Superman versus Zod Feora. It's a must for D. Yes. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't this
Yes.
make a kick-ass movie? Particularly with Gal and Michael Shannon and Henry as all these characters.
Oh my God!
Yeah, look at all this. Isn't this cool?
What?
If you want one more, because I already told you Feora shows up, right? This is what she looks like. And it's obviously very inspired by Man of Steel. Because look at Feora's design. All right, here we go. Look at Feora's design. That's straight up Man of Steel right there.
That is straight up Man of Steel vibes.
Look
You're
at
correct.
that. It's just so cool. And wait till you see Wonder Woman fight her. Wonder Woman pulls a badass fighting move. That is one of my favorite Wonder Woman moments of all time.
Wow.
This I'm not going to tell you because this you have to experience firsthand.
I have to read that issue. Thanks for showing me what fire looks like.
Yeah,
So
I figured you would like, because when I saw Man of Steel, I was like, wow, you literally just took the panel.
wow, just incredible.
And by the way,
But
all this is how. By the way, these characters are showing up for the first time in this book.
in
Doomsday
the
in this book. Zod in
John
this
in this
book.
fire in this book.
Literally, no other books. Not in Superman, not in Wonder Woman, not in Action Comics. This one. That's how central this book is to DC.
Yes. So I want to ask you, issue 3. What did you rate issue 3?
Probably 10 out of 10, dude.
No, comparing it to the other two issues we've done.
The other two, I like the more. I like this one because it puts more of an emphasis on how different they are. Because that's important because you want to make it like Superman and Wonder Woman are not the exact same.
Yeah, you got a fair point there. I mean, I mean, I like the idea of Steve Trevor being like a U.S. militant type of guy.
I've all long said what they should do: create a book that's like all the military people, have it be led by Steve Trevor, and just give him his own book like that. That's it. You're done. Because he is not in place when it comes to the Wonder Woman books. Speaking of Fayora, she reappeared in Rebirth. Yeah, exactly. By the way, in Rebirth, Zod is on the Suicide Squad.
Yes,
He gets out by heat visioning into his own head and taking out the explosive bomb.
and he doesn't die from it.
He's a Kryptonian.
He's a Kryptonian.
Yeah,
So,
that's the way you explain it. There you go.
but but yeah, I really enjoyed this comic. Like I'm loving the issues so far, and honestly, like reading each issue weekly, it gets me excited for the next one each time I read it. And I'm just like thinking, why isn't there a movie for Superman and Wonder Woman?
That's what Daniel and I are asking right now. Why isn't there a movie for this?
Yep, and he went after the rogues.
Oh yeah, the Revenge Squad is literally every villain that Superman has ever fought, and they're getting revenge on Superman.
Oh God.
It's really sweet.
But but like you said, you like this issue, you gave it a solid 10 for you.
Yep.
Um do you think they could use some of the inspirations from this comic or for this issue for video games? That's something I wanted to ask you.
Okay. So for this series, I could definitely see it being like a co-op game, like a two-player co-op game where you fight, and then the final boss battle is Superman. Is Zod and Fayora.
Yeah, I can see that.
That would definitely work. But speaking of games, I played that Justice League Cosmic Chaos game. All
Yeah.
right, I know it looks kiddie, but they go really deep into DC lore in that game.
Oh yeah. I can just imagine.
It's actually
Uh
really fun. Speaking of Superman, I'm surprised we didn't get the story in animated. Well, they kind of did, but we never got this, but we got the relationship in the Decamu.
we got
That's
the
it.
relation that's pretty much it. We only
That they
got to the
broke off screen.
and that teared Jared apart.
No, it's because here's the thing. This is the crappy part of those movies. They did too much stuff off screen. Show it then.
What if they come back in the Crisis on Infinite Earths?
I don't know if they'll do that because remember, they were broken. It depends on when they set. If they bring in the Decamu characters, it depends on when it is in the timeline.
They probably would do it uh before he dies as Superman.
I don't know. We'll see. I need to get more information on that because knowing DC, they'll probably have it set after he's married to Lois because DC likes to screw Super Wonder.
Ah,
Knowing DC, Taladia, can you really tell me that would be a surprise?
no,
This is
that's not
Warner
a
Brothers we're
surprise.
talking about.
Yeah, I got one red. I got one clip for that. Let me get that clip. Where is it? Uh,
You got to be more prepared.
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
There you go.
yeah, I had to find it, innit? There's loads of clips in here. I got too many.
And I have the entire Snyder cut on mine.
So, we'll round up in about 5 minutes. But it, Tevia says, I think Crisis on Infinite Earth is a three-part movie coming out in
Yep.
2024. Yes, yeah. So it'd be interesting to see how Super Wonder and how it fits into that. But I do think a Super Wonder video game can be done.
It can. And again, it would be it would do well because here's the thing: what DC doesn't want to tell you, this sells about this has sales on par with Batman, and that tells you a lot because Batman supports all of DC. The pre-orders for issue 1, yeah, should be a one. Yeah, exactly. The pre-orders for issue 1, 100,000 copies. Superman and Wonder Woman have never gotten either of that.
How many are sold?
I don't know how many are sold. You mean of Superman and Wonder Woman? Not 100,000. I can tell you that much. Nowhere near that.
No, the Superman and Wonder Woman.
Well, like if it's pre-ordered, I'd imagine those are how many people picked it up. Okay. And if you look at sales throughout, because Britt did a sales analysis on that because that's what we do. If you look at the sales of it, the sales for it consistently, even when it got bad, were better than both Superman and Lois on Rebirth and Trinity and Rebirth. That's why I tell people, if Rebirth was what everyone wanted, how come you never show up and buy the comic? This was people actually showing up and buying the book.
This is why Warner Brothers needs to look at some of the older stuff and start going back to them.
Well,
because
specifically this era, where they did, it's called the Snyderverse.
Yeah. Tevia says, which could explain why we're not getting more DC animated movies, considering we're getting both Crisis on Infinite Earth and Watchmen that year.
Why are we getting a Watchmen animated movie? I bought all DC Rebirth. I know you did, Tevia.
Yeah, I know.
Fair enough, dude. That's your thing. I always say, like what you like. But that's surprising no one, Tevia.
That's surprising no one. But still, New 52 really works well. Like, story details. For each characters, there's very good stories that are told within the New 52.
Heck, quarter hours, baby. Quarter
hours for Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman having their very own book. And their first time encountering Zod, Doomsday.
Hey, Earth 2.
Earth 2.
Yes. That was a kick-ass series.
Yes, I remember that book. I know that book did well because they kind of told the telling of how Helena Wayne and Kara Zor-El jumped universes too.
And became Power Girl and Huntress in this universe, then went back, and still as Power Girl and Huntress, and then you got the whole Earth 2 taking back the Earth from Darkseid. I wonder where we heard that before.
Snyder.
Except for Teen Titans and Superboy. I agree with Tevia. Because there were a lot of good books. There were also a lot of stinkers.
Yes,
also,
agreed.
By the way, New 52 is when they established Jason Todd as a hero. Because previous to that, he was a straight up bad guy.
Oh yeah, that's correct. Like
you had him with Arsenal and the Outlaws.
So, like, I want to bring this up, right? I think when it comes down to like the comics, at least they know what they're doing for the New 52. At least you knew what you were getting. But I think the Superman and the Wonder Woman comics is very, very special.
It is 100%. And once again, it was eventually going to build toward them getting married. Can you imagine how much The Wedding of Superman and Wonder Woman comic would sell if they actually went through with it?
It would have sold a lot of copies.
Because it's never happened.
It would have. You know what? I would like to ask DC editorial that question. Why didn't they go through with it?
Because they wanted to. Because Charles Sewell answered this. He said this series was canceled not because of sales, but because they wanted to bring back Lois. Literally, that is the reason. So to recontextualize this, DC took what the fans wanted and were responding to, this is the important part, and threw it away. Where have we heard this before? The Snyder. This is why it's kind of funny to Lottie. If you look at the DC Comics and the Snyderverse, they mirror each other flawlessly.
Flawlessly, yeah, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong there because, like, I always assumed, like, the Snyderverse and the New 52 verse looked similar in so many ways.
What Snyder did is he combined for his movie series. It's post-crisis mixed with the new 52. Like the origin for the Justice League is straight up the new 52 origin for the Justice League.
Wow.
The only difference is that Green Lantern was not on the original League in the movies.
Yes.
But he was in the comics. That'd be a fun series to cover, maybe on my channel.
Yeah, that'll be pretty fun to do. Um, so we're coming up to the 45-minute mark. I think this is a good place to end the series for this week. Do you
Yep,
think?
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Because there's not much else we can cover for issue 3, is there?
Now, issue I believe is issue 4 going to be more. I have to check. Issue 4 should be a little more in terms of content stuff to cover. The next couple of issues are going to be a lot more that we can talk about and discuss.
Okay. Tevia says True Snyder's Justice League is kind of like New 52 and the animated Justice League War movie.
Justice League War is basically the first volume of New 52 Justice
52.
League.
Okay. So Jared, let them know what you got coming up on your channel. Let them know what content you've got coming out on your channel.
Alrighty, well, I have what currently is up right now. I have the episode of Comics Watch on the Phoenix Press where Nick and I discuss why characters like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman have existed for as long as they have, and why a lot of these characters have lasted for so long and not fallen into obscurity. Then back on Comics League, I have, except that movie had no Aquaman. Yeah, he's talking about the animated movie.
Yeah,
because they wanted to put in Shazam. But in terms of Indie Wednesday, I have my Halo comic review, and then for Under Two Capes this week, that'll be out Friday, and then we'll probably be recording on Thursday. It'll be about the worst or most useless DC Comics events of the past, like I'd say 10, 20 years. We'll go over. So we'll go over like Gotham War so far, Night Terrors, to a certain degree, Dark Crisis, and so be on the lookout for that. And movie night to conclude Sci-Fi September, we're covering Back to the Future. So that should be fun right there. We're going Back to the Future. And then for Super Wonder Legacy next week, Britt and I are discussing Future's End. Thank you, Tavia. Britt and I are discussing the Elseworlds examples for Superman and Wonder Woman and why it can work as an Elseworld story. In other words, it doesn't have to be main continuity. It could just be a whole Elseworlds thing, which, by the way, the new 52 is back to being canon, which means this is back to being canon because what Doomsday Clock did, it established that the new 52 Earth is a different Earth. It's Earth 52. So this is canon again. So I appreciate that. So we're going to talk about that. So we'll talk about like Kingdom Come and the like. What are you going to say, Talia?
That is going to be very exciting for your channel for sure.
And besides that, I'm going on Sil Abdul's channel, I believe tomorrow or it might be today. I have to check. The point is I'm going on Sil's channel to discuss the first issue of the George Perez Wonder Woman run. Hey, what's up, Najee? And hmm and let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's. I think it might actually be tonight. No, it's tomorrow. So tomorrow I will be going on Sil Abdul's channel to discuss that issue of Wonder Woman, and then I'm going on Robert Welling channel or Robert Welling's channel tomorrow as well to discuss the another Superman story. And besides that, yeah, I'm just hanging out. How about you, Tyler?
Okay, so for me on my channel, guys, members only video will be going up. Why? And the video is going to be called "Why DC Need to Make More Story-Driven Games." So that's the title for the video. Um, and I go in depth into it, and I go talk about why some of these other games didn't do well, and why they need to focus on, let's say, the stuff like the Batman Arkham stuff, and other superheroes, why they need their own titles and stuff like that. So that'll be a members only video, and that goes up tomorrow evening. So that is happening on Thursday. Friday, guys, it will be everything we know for Marvel Spider-Man 2. That is going up on Friday for publicly. So that means everyone will get the chance to see the video where we talk about not Superman, Wonder Woman. Sorry, what am I saying? Superman, Wonder Woman. I mean to say Marvel Spider-Man 2. Um, so we are going to be doing that video will be going up live on Friday. Saturday is movie night on Jared's Comics League channel. So we'll be talking about discussion with that, and then Sunday is the Batman Arkham stream, guys. Yes, the 5 hour long Batman
Jeez, dude.
Arkham stream. Yes, as promised to one of my viewers that I would do this, and I've already spoken to her, and she's like, "Do this," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll do 5 hours." So every weekend, guys, every Sunday, there will be a 5 hour stream as promised.
Oh,
So
jeez, Eladia.
so yeah, it's a promise. A promise is a promise, isn't it? You can't just.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
So with that being said, also you guys, if you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit that like button on your way out, and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because when a video or a live stream that I do does go live, you will be notified of when I do post those videos up, and all live streams that I do, you will be notified of when I do it. And also, if you want to hit become a member, guys, it's memberships is pretty cheap, from 99 cents or $99. Sorry, 99 cents um to um 4.99 basically. And Jared has got the same tiers. We both do great individual tiers, and it's all worth it. So if you guys want to become members, then hit that join button, and we welcome you into our community. And we do members only polls, we do members only videos, members only live streams, collabs with me, and gaming with me. There's all sorts of things. So there's that. And we hope you have enjoyed tonight's stream. I know it's a little bit shorter one compared to uh last week's episode, which was a little bit longer. So yeah, you can. Yeah.
And wait, are you serious, Tavia? That Hickman's writing Ultimate Spider-Man. That's dope.
And guys, if you haven't subscribed to Jared, there's the link in the chat.
Subscribe, become a member. If you want to get priority in my members requests to my viewer requested videos, the membership's the way to do it.
Yeah. And the same thing goes for me. If you want to members only videos, you want me to cover something special like comics, then there's that. Hi Sean.
What's up, Sean?
You just caught us at the last hurdle of the stream. Um but yeah, so when it comes down to memberships, like members only video, if you guys want me to cover, let's say you want me to cover something, for example, New 52 Futures End. I could do a video on that and we can go over that.
You don't want to cover Futures End, dude. It's such a horrible story.
That is it's an example, Jared. It's not
I
gonna
know, I know. I was just trying to save you, dude.
yeah. So if you guys want to do that, it's a members only perk issue. So that's only when you become a member. And or if Tevye wants me to, for example, if he's a member, wants me to cover Super Sons, I'll do a Super Sons video and we go why Super Sons rock when they were young. So if you want me to, that's the only way you'll get it done. So we have hope you have enjoyed tonight's stream. Is there anything in the chat? Last minute comments and questions for me and Jared. Let us know about Super Wonder. Uh, my day is going good, Najee. Um, yeah, last minute comments and questions. Put them in the chat, guys, before we end because we want to hear what you have to say about today's stream. What do you think of issue 3 of Superman and Wonder Woman, which is Wonder Woman and Superman issue 3? What do you guys think of the comic? If you've read the issue, and also, guys, if you have enjoyed, you know, feel free to feel free to leave a comment down below. If you're watching this later, feel free to leave a comment down below and let us know, like, if you read the issue, what's your favorite part of the comic? What what are you excited for the future issues? And are you guys liking what I'm doing for covering each individual issue? What can I improve on for covering these comics? So sign off in the comment section below because we'd like to hear your opinions. Uh, Tavia's got a question for you, Jared.
Oh, I'm wondering what they were supposed to do. I'm still working on that's heavy. I'm just really backed up in terms of stuff. But yes, and I'm glad you enjoyed the stream.
Okay, cool. So with that being said, I've been your host Taladia Plays. That has been Jared from Comics League. Any final words, Jared?
DC, make this into a movie.
Yes, we'll end it on that, guys. So super wonderful life and Wonderbat sucks. So until next time, we're out of here.